Hey everybody, Paul Burry, and with me this week is
Teen Gamer.
And this is a top 10, an FFG top 10. And the top 10 this time is games that need physical copies.
Yep. Which one of us is going to start with our number 10?
We'll let you start.
Oh, you start last one. My number 10 is Jetpack Joyride.
Oh, Jetpack Joyride.
It has iOS, and it even got a console release on the PS3 with it.
PS3 at least, if not others.
But we haven't seen any
physical copies.
We haven't ever seen it in the store, so.
Yeah.
I've been wanting a physical copy.
And you'll notice a lot of these games, they're digital downloads. We really would like to see them, mature and progress into the retail chain, or even if they do a physical copy and they, you can order it on their website. That would be awesome too. My number 10 is Ultima Forever, which did not last forever. EA.
What, it lasted months?
Five, six. I'm not even sure. Maybe up to 9.
Maybe 3.
It didn't make it a year. It was a fun game. It needed a physical copy. It needed to be totally offline. If they would have done it that way, put it on the 3DS Vita. And the other thing is, even though it's an app, they still have the code. They could easily port it to
a console.
Exactly, easily. But they're just leaving it alone. So, but that's mine. Okay, you're number 9.
Grand Kingdom. That one was.
Oh yeah.
It was a terrible-ish game. Like, I don't understand the gameplay, but it was unique enough that I kind of liked it. I didn't quite understand everything with it. It was a bit weird, but it's like, it needs a physical copy.
Yeah.
Because I kept forgetting it existed.
Yeah, that's a problem. If you don't have a case to look at, a lot of times you just forget. I mean, we're not the kind that are sitting there and go turn a system on and go see what we have on the system, or go check their store. It's like, ugh. My number 9 is Yeslandia, and a lot of you out there might be like, what? This was an MMORPG on the iOS. I don't think with the Android it may have. They decided after they had made 100,000 sales, they had sold the 99-cent app for 100,000 times, that they would just release it for free. After that, and they, we're gonna reward everyone. It's not free. Unfortunately, that killed it, and they shut down their servers. And again, it was a fun little game, handheld. It's like you could have made it. What they did with the story and everything, you didn't need multiple players. You could have played it by yourself just fine without
people.
Other people. So,
in
my opinion,
you're playing together separately.
Yeah, they should have done an offline version. Put it on 3DS Vita. It would have been a real simple port, but they didn't.
My number 8 is taken by Rock of the Ages.
Oh yeah.
There's a second one coming out. We're not quite sure if that one's got a physical copy. We hope it does. But Rock of Ages 1, I've played through that one multiple times and beat it completely. Got all the achievements.
They should put Rock of Ages 1 and 2 together and release it in physical copy. Because other companies on it, they put
NES Remix.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Included the new the VR.
Yep. My number 8 is Ninja Fishing. If you haven't played this fun little app, you sit there and you go down. You avoid the fish on your way down. Once you catch something, you try to catch, 50 on the way up, and then you sit there and slice them. This would be perfect 3DS Vita. I mean, this would be awesome to have a cartridge for that one.
But the gyroscope would be a little weird on that. I mean, it needs it, but it'd be a little weird.
Well, it would be better if you could just use either the D-pad or the circle pad to guide it.
My number 7 spot is taken by Punch Club.
Oh yeah.
That was a Tiny Build game. It was the first thing we ever did with Tiny Build, and I was expecting great things out of Tiny Build after that. But I found out they're a publisher, which that's pretty cool. They even made it on our top 10 best companies to work with list.
Yep.
It was a pretty fun game. It's a fighter tycoon simulator thing.
Yeah.
What is it really? It has its own.
It's a hybrid.
It's an it.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. My number 7 is the Zen Pinball 2. All the different Zen Pinball tables. I mean, I would love for them to have a physical copy, just a big compilation of a bunch of their tables. Maybe do it in volumes. Here's 10 or 20 tables or 30 tables on one cartridge or disc, and then do more in another cartridge disc. That would just be, to my opinion, would just be awesome.
Yeah. My number 6 is Knights of Pen and Paper +1. I think they did like +2, and that has something maybe like a PC cartridge thing, but you can't find that many places. But +1. We have a video series going currently, so if you haven't watched it, you should check it out.
Check that out.
I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. My number 6 is the Japanese rail sim games. You've probably seen our reviews. These are 3DS downloadable games. They let you take on the role of a monorail driver in in like a monorail in Japan, and they take you through the different routes. And I'm like, they have a bunch of them, a bunch of different volumes and a bunch of different games. Like, they need to put like just
just like
Put
explain.
them all on a cartridge and be like, hey, here you go. Here's the entire works.
My number 5 is Night Squad. This is one of the few games that I actually went out, got myself an Xbox gift card, and bought the DLC for it. Because I actually enjoyed it, and I wanted to play different game modes because I've played all the other ones, and I was like,
They need
hey,
to Rocket League that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rocket League.
at the end of all the DLC, just release a disc with all of it so you can sit there and buy the whole thing one time. My number 5 is Job Simulator. I've only played the demo on the PlayStation VR, but it is so cool. The demo is so cool that I'm like, this needs a physical copy. I absolutely despise purchasing digital downloads because they're so disposable. So in my opinion, Job Simulator needs a physical copy. PlayStation 4,
Like Rocket
Oculus
League.
Rift on the PC, whatever. Just get a physical copy out there.
And my number 4 is Undertale. That's another series that's been going on. It's became pretty popular.
Like
You
the
hear about it.
13th.
You hear about it almost everywhere. 15th episode will be coming out soon.
This week.
Yeah, this week. Yeah, well, it's gone a while.
Undertale
It's-
Thursdays.
Yeah. It's one of those games that it's like an RPG, but you actually have to think about what you do because it has consequences. So it's one of those moral games, and that's what we like.
Definitely. My number 4 is MLB 15 to show on the Vita. Sony tried in my opinion, the least
thing.
intelligent thing they could do, which was they said, you go to the store and you
go
see
buy
a
a game.
case on the Vita, and on this case, it tells you a code for a digital download only. What? I know a lot of people that bought it thinking there was going to be a cartridge in there, and they pop in their Vita and they're like, excuse me, my memory card won't handle such a large download. I mean, I got to go buy a larger memory card for this? It's like, they had done physical
Yeah.
copies before
And
that on the Vita.
I tried to find a memory card for the PS Vita for another game. I could not find one.
Yeah, they're out of stock. It's hard to find anywhere. The places. So in my opinion, MLB 15 is showing the Vita. They need a physical copy. They need to just stop this. And if you check the sales plummeted when they tried that. The sales have been pretty good and steady on the Vita for that franchise. So anyway, your number 3.
My number 3 is the Kimco RPGs. I mean, if I listed off each individual one, this would be maybe a top 100 list. There's just that many of them.
Top 50.
Top 50. And I really enjoy most of them. I've spent the 60 hours in a couple of them to actually go through, beat them, and some of them have stuff after. I go play the post game, play it a couple times with New Game Plus. But I enjoy those, and they need cartridges because they're on 3DS and a Wii U disc or
They need to put a compilation of their stuff together.
the Kimco Collection 1,
Yeah,
the Kimco
yeah.
Collection 2.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My number 3 is Gnome's Home. If you haven't played this app, it's really cool. You have gnomes, they go dig down and they get resources.
Oh, get it?
Yeah, I'll get
Get
it.
it.
They sit there and tell you that when you tell them to go get something. It's a really cool, fun app. It needs a physical copy. I mean, and again, 3DS, Vita, it'd be perfect.
We.
And my number 2 spot is Evoland 1 and 2. I played 1 back when it came out. I was like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. You're playing through the different years and eras of games. And Evoland 2 came out. They're like, hey, you want a beta? Okay, we played the beta. We got to the end of the beta. And we're like, is that it? Then we waited like 3 months. They came out with the full game. And unfortunately, our computer could not handle the game. So I had to stop. But if it was on a console,
Would've been
I think the
perfect.
console would have been able to handle it.
And a disc version of the game.
Yeah, versus the download, which is less taxing on the computer.
My number 2 is Quantum Conundrum. That was a cool little puzzle game with an awesome
yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Fluffy is everywhere.
The flip a switch.
Flip a switch and Fluffy is everywhere.
Soft and sweet and hard to eat.
So that game, I would love to see the game in a physical copy. It really deserves it. It's high quality. It really,
I'm surprised it wasn't like a AAA title in the gaming industry.
it was shocked
It
to
looks
me
like
that
one.
it wasn't. They never gave a physical copy. I don't know what Square Enix was thinking. They make some good decisions, and that was obviously a bad one. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Escapist. I played that. Escapist 2 is coming out next year, I think, isn't it? Maybe that one's going to have a physical copy. But Escapist 1, they gave it to us. We're like, well, that's kind of cool. We're escaping prison. That's different. So we played it, and I played it, and I got through about half the game. I got stuck, but it's like a slow grind, and then once you finally do something, it makes you feel accomplished. Unlike newer games, like the Pokemon games, where you spend an hour, you've already beat the entire game.
Yeah.
It's getting that bad.
My number one is Tetraminos. You may have remembered a review recently of Tetraminos.
Seal of approval.
Yeah, it's excellent game, and that is you know, honoring the legacy of Tetris, and that one really needs a physical copy. It's so much fun. You know, I would love to see artwork for that one. So that's our top 10 games that need physical copies. You have more thoughts?
And we'd like to thank you for watching, so I hope you have a wonderful